Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to be doing our first harvest of our baby spinach. Between filming this video to present time of me doing this voiceover, I have done maybe about 3 harvests of the spinach, and it is due for another harvest, which is really fun and exciting. So like as soon as I started plucking away at these spinach, which you'll see in just one moment, they just grow back super fast. The spinach may be a little overgrown. It is my first time ever growing baby spinach leaves, so I wasn't exactly too sure. It still tasted great. I've used it in cooking, and which you would actually see in this video later on, the omelette that I'll make. And I've also used it fresh in salads, and both ways, cooking and eating fresh, was really good. And surprisingly as well, I did not come across a single bug. There will be a few leaves, not many at all, but you will see that has like a little bug bite or something. I still used them. There's no actual bugs on it at the time, and it wasn't severely damaged, and it's still perfectly all fine. But yeah, I just thought it was super fun, super exciting, and just by looking at my little baby spinach patch, I did not expect to get as much spinach that I did that is in the bowl, which you guys will see. But otherwise, this is just me harvesting the rest of the spinach, and then we'll make the omelette, and I'll go forward into a garden update. Alright, so in my bowl here, I'm just going to, crack in 4 eggs without any shell. Would be handy. This omelette is going to be enough for both Nick and I to share. We'll just half it. But I prefer to make a big one in our bigger pan. That's the best non-stick, because my smaller pans, I really need to just get new ones. They're horrible. So rather than making one each, I'll just make a bigger one, and then we'll just share it. So we've got the 4 eggs in there. And just using a fork, I'm just going to give them a light beat. Now here I just got so in the deli section with the feta cheese, I just asked for half a block, and then I halved the block again. And I'm going to use this piece for in the filling for a spinach and feta omelette. So I'm just going to dice it up kind of small. You can crumble it, but this feta is, I think it's the Australian type, so it's like very creamy rather than crumbly. So in total, it's probably, I don't know, 2 to 3 tablespoons of feta, like not even a quarter of a cup. Here I got a couple of pieces of the piece of bacon. That's just what we have, so that's what we're using. So I just got 2 pieces of bacon that's already pre-cooked from yesterday breakfast. So again, I'm just going to cut this up. Man, I need to sharpen my knives. Yum. And you definitely don't need to add bacon if you don't want to. It's just we have it and I like the flavour of it, so we're going to add it. And now here is the spinach that we picked yesterday. So I've got it all nice and washed. As you can see, I got some massive leaves. And then some proper spinach size leaves. So I'm just going to be taking, I don't know, I feel like maybe about 1/4 of a cup worth once it's all chopped. So I'll be taking just a few. I'm going to leave the rest of this for a salad for the next 3 days for myself. So that's going to be lovely. So I'll say, yeah, if you just shove this in like a cup measurement, that's probably about 1/4 of a cup worth of spinach. And this is our first time trying our homegrown spinach as well. So as you saw, I just kind of rolled it up, and I'm just thinly slicing it. And I'll just do one across, and that'll be plenty. And now for seasonings, just a pinch of salt. I want about half a teaspoon of pepper and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I feel like if you had some caramelized onions, I was thinking about that doing last night, was making some caramelized onions and then do it previously and then add the cool onions in here. I feel like that would be delicious, but I didn't do that, but that's fine. So this is what we're going to have. I'm going to chuck this onto the other side. So I've got the pan on a medium heat. I'm just going to give this one last quick mix to make sure whatever's sunk into the bottom's kind of come back up. And then we're just going to tip the whole mixture in. Oh no, I think our pan's too big. Oopsie. That's right, we'll just... This is going to be a thin omelette. But that's okay. You know what? I might need another egg. I've just beaten another egg just to put in the middle because it's a bit too thin there. So hopefully this will be all good now. And then we're just going to pop the lid on. Alright, I was completely distracted. The omelette's overdone. Oopsie. I just thought I'd check on it, and it's all nice and puffy, which is wonderful. I'm just gonna, oh, it is stuck to the side. So we'll flip her over. Alright, this might be an ugly omelette, but it's still gonna be delicious. I would have liked to flip it over a little bit earlier. And I am going to stuff it with cheese. I'm just going to stuff it with cheese when it comes off, because Nick and I are going to have two different types of cheeses, and I do not want any of his cheese. Like, I could be just half and half and then cut it, but I don't want to risk his cheese coming over to my side. You know what? So I'm going to call this done. Good thing I come check on it when I did. Alright, now without breaking it any further, hopefully I can just, whoop, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut it in half now, and I'll do the other cheese filling. Oh man, that is hot. So the cheese that Nick wanted was Swiss cheese. He absolutely loves Swiss cheese. I cannot it's hot, stand Swiss cheese. So I just kind of crumbled it just so we can layer it in, and it'll help it melt, since I'm not going to be melting it on the actual stove. I'm doing it after. But that will still melt down nicely. It just sucks that it's not the prettiest thing, but that's okay. And then, whoo, for me, I really like corn. No, for me, I'm just going to have just your regular, normal, tasty cheese, because it's just what I like. I'll fold that back up. Oh. It smells delicious. Here is the close-up of our omelette, and then yeah, that cheese is already starting to melt in there. Yum. Okay, right, I got my omelette, which is all melty and gooey now, which is delicious. Right, so let's try. It smells so good. Yum. Is it so cool to know that it's like our homegrown spinach? I love the saltiness of the feta as well. So for today, once I finish eating, I'm going to clean up my mess in here, which it isn't much because it was a spotless kitchen to start off with. So yeah, once I finish eating, I'm going to clean up my mess in here, go do the grocery shopping, pop that away. there's some jobs that needs to be done in the garden. Have to do some weeding, have to do some backfilling, I suppose, for the potatoes, which I always forget. I might have actually shown you in my last gardening video, the potatoes, but I feel like I always forget that. And I just want to show you guys growth of everything, because everything is just booming. And I really don't think it'll be long until, yeah, some more harvesting will happen. It's so exciting. Alright, so I'm now out with this bed. I want to plant in some more carrot seeds. So that is the carrot seeds I've picked with this. You kind of can't see it. There we go. So this is the variety. It's a different variety. There's some information about it. So this packet contains 1,000 seeds. So I don't know if I'm going to plant them all. It's hard with carrots because they're so little. But I got this gap here. So this is grass. I am having grass growing in here. This is a weed, so that can go. This here is a potato, which was a complete mistake. So a potato ended up growing everywhere. I'll show you guys a close-up of the potato. This is a weed. I'll show you guys a close-up, but it just must have came, well, the only way it came, the potatoes, is from the compost. Now here is our Chinese pink celery. Not much of it has sprouted. I got a couple of carrots. It's just kind of came over here for some reason. This is another weed. So what I'm going to do is just run my finger across to make lines for some more carrots. So you can see there on just how little and fine these carrot seeds are. And I am going to give them a water once I finish filming. I will just give everything a water, but I just wanted to bring you guys around and show you guys an update. Alright, so pretty much the potatoes I have sprouted. This is potato, 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 potato. It is crazy. This whole bed is going to eventually, pretty soon I think, be completely overrun by potatoes. Behind these carrots, I don't know if you can see, potato, 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 potato. Different variety of potato, possibly sweet potato, these two ones. I'm still not 100% sure with these, or these two may just be a weed, but I still think they're a type of potato. Potato, that's just the weed that I'm supposed to fling out of here. There is a couple of weeds in here that I do need to get to and pull out. And even here with the spinach, another potato. Right here there was a potato. It's just came up now. This was a potato. This was the first piece of potato that came up, but it has died, so not sure about that, like what happened there. So yeah, as you guys can see, there's so much potatoes. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not mad about it though. It's just so cool to me. These pots, which is just by this bed, more potato. So these pots we did plant potatoes. So in these pots we actually did plant potatoes. We planted 3 potatoes, so this is looking really good. And I'm assuming probably now I should backfill this, since this is almost a full length of fingers. Backfill this. I was going to do that today, but I ran out of time, so maybe tomorrow I'll get to just filling it up. I'm assuming the soil length will probably be up to here, and then it'll grow. I'll keep backfilling. So that's the method we're going with these potatoes. This pot has a little bit here and one here.
so not as well. Again, we did plant 3 potatoes in this pot as well. Now, are you guys ready to see this? The pumpkins, oh my goodness. So it is growing out far. I do have some weeds as well in here I have to get. We've had so much rain, but wow. And like, she is thick. It is so cool though. One of the zucchinis, this is one of the zucchinis we planted, which is doing okay. The other zucchini we planted, which is doing much better. It definitely looks the best out of the 2 planted. Also, these trees are all full of the leaves, which is just beautiful. So yeah, from this view, the trees are all nice and full. We just got some pots blew over it there, and the bird bath needs a scrub. But yeah, how cool are the pumpkins? And this is one, and that is still the second, which is coming over to this one. And also coming over to where our washing line is. So this guy is growing quick. But we do have little buds, I call them butts, with the flowers. So far none of them's been pollinated. I don't think this guy's been pollinated, so he's probably going to drop off and rot. And yeah, we just got other little flowers and stuff happening in here. So hopefully some do pollinate. It's just every time the flowers open is we get the most amount of rain. But I don't know, we'll see. And now for these pots, so here we planted the ginger, nothing has came up yet. The capsicum, you can see teeny tiny little babies happening, which is super cute on this capsicum plant. Same with this one, teeny tiny little babies. And this is the zucchini that we put in this pot. This is definitely doing the best and growing the biggest. You can see this guy's going to open up soon, which is fun. But yeah, just from this angle, that zucchini is definitely doing better in this pot than it is in the ground. And then our strawberries, so you can see some of them are about to be ripe soon. Unfortunately, there is spider webs on this one. I keep trying to get it off. It is going brown, so I don't know if that has anything to do with a little spider. Let's keep making a web around it. And now, the tomatoes and capsicum in this bed. So I did sprinkle on some crushed eggshells for the tomatoes. I think that done it really good. I haven't got a tomato cage for this one yet, which I do need to do. But this guy is just looking really cool. And the one with the tomato cage, so you can see the height difference. So the tomatoes, oh, and just touching the leaves, they smell so good. And then these capsicums, these aren't doing as well again than they do in the pots. Kind of similar to the zucchini. You do have a couple of little babies in there. And same on this side. This side's probably doing the worst. I mean, it's not doing the worst, it's just the slowest, I should say. It's still doing fine. And we do have something, I'm not sure what, growing here. It kind of looks like a zucchini maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't know why a zucchini would be here unless that's from the compost. But when we top this up, we just topped it up with potting mix. We didn't top this up with any compost. So yeah, not too sure what that is. I'm just going to let it grow and we'll figure that out later. But saying that did remind me, behind this little guy, we do have a zucchini popping up in here. So I'm going to wait till he gets a little bigger, pluck him out and plant him somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool too. Alright, so that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I hope you guys kind of like the little insight of the garden. Not too much garden work today. Well, I suppose we did do the main harvest of our spinach leaves, which still blows my mind. Like, I was expecting just to get a small handful or two, and we got a whole bowl, which I did give half away to my mum, so hopefully she will enjoy that. I also wanted to mention we did harvest our very first strawberry, and it was so sweet and so good. I didn't film it, but I did have some pictures I'll add up here. That was really fun and exciting, and I'm just like, I want more. Best strawberry I've ever tasted in my life.
But yeah, so that's all for today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe down below so you don't miss out on my future videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.